Hey everybody, it's Joyce, your Expressive Arts Coordinator from Fellowship Place, and I'm back with another art directive for the week. This week we are going to be making pinwheels, but they're not just any pinwheel, they are deep breathing pinwheels. I'm really excited because this project is going to combine two things that I really believe in are good for our mental health. One is art, and two is deep breathing. As you may have learned from Sam's video last week, deep breathing is so good for us. It calms the nervous system, it decreases stress, it slows our heart rate and stabilizes our blood pressure. And we are going to be creating pinwheels that we will use during our deep breathing practice to watch it move as we breathe and provide the wind for it to move. So I hope that all makes sense. If you're like, wait, what? Promise, it'll make sense. Stick with me. We're going to go over the materials in a second, and then we're going to get into the art making. So see you in a sec. Okay, so the materials you're going to need for this week's project are one, a piece of paper, any size. We're going to cut it into a square in the next step, so don't worry about that. You will need a thumbtack or paper clip. You will need a pencil with an eraser, like that. So it could be one of these types of pencils, or it could be a mechanical pencil. It doesn't matter. You'll need something to draw with, crayons, markers, colored pencils, pastels, totally up to you. And then optional is scissors. You can always rip instead of cut. And another optional material is a piece of paper and a pen just to do a little bit of writing. Okay, so go gather those things if you have them, and I will see you to begin in just a minute. Okay, so in order to make a pinwheel, you need to have a piece of paper that is a perfect square, or as close to perfect as possible. And as you can see here, I have a rectangular piece of paper. And turning a rectangle piece of paper into a square is actually pretty simple, and I'll show you how right now. Grab a corner, pull it down till it hits the bottom of the page in a way that it lines up with the bottom line of the paper. So you'll have a really nice triangle. Push the crease down and open it up. Great. Do it again with the corner down here and have it match up in the same way to the top of the piece of paper. Another beautiful triangle. Fold the crease and keep it here for a minute because you're going to take your scissors, or you can rip if you like, just right down the edge of this side of the triangle. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as close as you can to that line will be a really good setup. Okay, so you should end up with a square, and you'll know it's a square because you have 4 equal triangles right here. Before we move on to the next step, the thing you're going to need to do is grab your scissors, or feel free to rip if you don't have scissors, and just cut on the crease only halfway down each side. So you can see I just did that a little bit halfway, and do it on all corners. Again, does not need to be perfect, just halfway down each crease. Mine are definitely not perfect, but that's okay. Great. So now at the end of this step, you should have the 4 triangles and cuts halfway down each crease. All right. Now that you have your canvas, we will move on to the next step. So as I mentioned earlier, we're creating these pinwheels to support us with deep breathing and meditation. And before we continue with the sort of art portion of this project, we're going to pause and work on the meditation by creating the mantra we're going to use in the meditation. And the meditation is going to be just a simple mantra. It's going to be breathe in, blank, breathe out, blank. And you're going to fill in the first blank with 3 words that you want to embody or bring into yourself at this time. That could be joy, that could be movement, that could be ease, that could be relaxation. Totally up to you. And the second blank of things we want to breathe out is going to be things that you want to release. So it could be stress, anxiety, worry, anger. It's, again, totally up to you. So I'm going to give you a second to write down your mantra that you come up with. I'm going to do it too. I think I'll use my scrap piece of paper from when I made the square. And remember to write down the mantra, breathe in, blank, breathe out, blank. And I'll have it on the screen right after this for you to be able to pause and see it written up. And we'll check in after that. Okay, good luck. All right, so now that you have your mantra, it's time to delve into the visualization of it. How are you going to visually represent the mantra that you created on your pinwheel? Well, let me tell you. What you're going to do is you're going to take your canvas, your pinwheel that you created with your creases and your cuts, and you are just going to take as long as you need to visually represent each part of the mantra on each side. So on one side, you're going to create anything you need to represent the 3 words that you're breathing in. And on the other side, you're going to do the same thing with the words that you're breathing out. It doesn't matter which side is which, just make sure that one side is breathing in and one side is the 3 words that you're breathing out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that too, and I'll see you in a few before we put the pinwheel together and use it in action. All right. Okay, so now that you have both sides of your pinwheel decorated, we're going to start putting it together. I'm going to warn you, it could be a little tough, so you have to be a little patient, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. So we're going to start with what we're breathing out facing us. And you are going to pick one corner of each triangle to focus on right now. And you can use either a paper clip or a thumbtack, if you have them, to poke a tiny hole in the corner. Now, you don't want the hole to be at the very, very tip of the corner. You want it to be a little bit further in. So just take your thumbtack and poke a tiny hole in one corner of the triangle. Now, we're going to do it on the same corner of a new triangle. So if I twist it, it'll be the exact same corner. Poked another hole, twisting it, doing it again, poked another hole, twisting it, doing it again for the last time, poking another hole. And again, be careful using either the paper clip or the thumbtack. The next thing you're going to do is poke your final hole in the center of the square where the X initially intersected. It's hard to see mine because it's black. And what you're going to do next is you're going to fold in each of the corners that you had poked a hole in. So they're overlapping. And as you can see, it's starting to look like a pinwheel. This is the part where you're just going to need a little bit of patience because it takes a little maneuvering. So essentially you have 4 corners overlapped on the hole that we're going to poke the paper clip through. So now what you're going to do is what I do is I just grab these 4 pieces and I take the paper clip or the thumbtack and I make sure I'm getting each hole filled. Oops, sometimes that happens. So you just pull the next one in, put it on the thumbtack or on the paper clip. And is this the last one? It's this side. Okay, there's the hole. So, and then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure it goes through the final hole in the center. As you can see, you've got a pinwheel. And to really finish it off, you're going to use the eraser of your pencil and you're going to stick the thumbtack carefully into the eraser. And if you're using a paper clip, you just wrap it around the end of the pencil. So here we have my paper clip. My pinwheel. There you go. Okay, so hope you have your pinwheel all ready to go. We're going to try it with the meditation that Samantha created for last week's deep breathing video. And just test out your pinwheel for a second, make sure it works. Sometimes they can be a little challenging. So you got to really figure it out. Okay, there we go. And if it doesn't work during your meditation perfectly, just keep focusing on the breath and eventually the pinwheel will move. So let's just try it. Samantha did it for in for 3 and breathing out for 5 seconds. Let's just start with 3 and 3 for right now because it's easy to remember. Okay, here we go. So get comfortable, make sure your feet are nice and comfy on the ground. And you can close your eyes or do a soft gaze if that's comfortable for you. For me, sort of watching the pinwheel is meditative. And as I breathe in, I'm going to think of the 3 words I selected that I want to embody and bring into my life. And as I breathe out, I'm going to think about the words that I want to release. So breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 3. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 3. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 3. There you go. Keep trying it on your own. Remember your mantra. Think about what you want to bring into your life and what you want to release. And just keep playing with your pinwheel. All right. I hope you had a great time this week and that this was helpful for you. And stay tuned for next week's video. Who knows what it will be? See ya.